Nuts punks, nuts punks, nuts punks. Fuck off.
Hello and welcome to the final podcast, the last podcast you'll ever listen to.
Booze, brews, and horror movie reviews. Your final bros have survived.
Yes, we are here, joined by Brian Hotboy Lagrosta.
I am not a Nazi punk. I wish I was, but I'm not. And we are here today with Shane. No, I would not consider myself a Nazi, but Smith.
That's crazy. I wish I was in a band.
Mike the Cannibal Gypsy.
I was in a band once. It's called Zip Kit 52.
That's right.
That shit was tight.
Tight.
We were a tight band.
Maddie with the stick producing the show.
I really want to know what they were thinking when they sang that song.
What they were thinking, like what they were going for, or if it was
Like-
intended for the right audience.
They literally knew they were going to get like the shit beaten out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a risky choice.
But there's something real punk rock about it.
It's,
you know what
it-
I'm
was
it's,
saying?
my
like,
heart.
it's like sticking it to the man, sticking it to the Nazi.
yeah. Are Nazis the scariest people?
Also, here's my next question. That's like a really good question. Can I counter it?
Yes.
And add on to it. I'll call it an addendum question.
Okay.
Nazis or neo-Nazis?
What's the delineation?
Yeah, what is
I'm on
the...
it.
So I can give you my thoughts,
I'm
and
on it.
Matt can tell me if I'm dead wrong. So my thoughts are Nazi. That's the Socialist Party. It's actually like the political movement, right?
Right.
The Nazi Party. Neo-Nazis is like trying to take up their work in a redefined setting, like a new era.
Okay, so like this group would be technically neo-Nazis?
Yes,
Oh yeah, this group.
like
is
they're not
scary.
actual Nazis.
I actually rather take on Hitler than any of the people that were in that hall. They're terrifying. They're all terrifying.
They definitely give you a certain tone. They're not here to be fucked with, and they don't like being made fun of.
Well, here's the thing about this group of people. They couldn't even beat, four kids in a punk rock band.
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing, actually.
To be fair,
Hitler kind of, he did some damage.
no. But this is the thing. They easily could have killed these four if they would have just went in with guns. But they were trying to stage.
No guns.
They were trying to stage it so they wouldn't like have all the trouble with the law. That's why it kind of went that way.
Dude, I had never seen or knew anything about this movie prior to watching it a few days ago. And holy shit, is it not what I expected?
Yeah, I will be honest. If you're like, this doesn't have like a typical A24 feel to it.
It doesn't.
It's not a slow burn. It's quite the opposite. It's quite fast paced. Kind of feels a little like raw in some
Do you think
ways.
it's because it's like the whole
Punk scene?
punk scene?
Yeah, I think they try to make it like a
That's what punk's all about, right?
yeah, like raw and loud and quick.
Best punk band.
Oh, so I'm just gonna be honest. It's not really my type of music. Like I really a lot of the bands that I knew that I grew up with were punk and then like transitioned emo, like Blink-182,
Right.
and like AFI are good examples. I really
Right.
don't think I could actually give you. You let me know what yours is. I don't know if I can actually give you an answer.
I
would say Blink-182.
early Blink is
Yeah.
They're technically punk, but as soon as they finished Dude Ranch, they kind of transitioned out of punk.
early Green Day. Definitely
They're punk. But then they do like Holiday and like stuff, and then they go so
On
far.
holiday.
Yeah, more like political punk later on. I don't know.
All
Yeah.
punk is kind of political, though, if we're being honest.
True. Like,
Punk is very
what's real punk? Like fucking Black Flag and
the
Yeah.
Dead Kennedys,
Dead
the
Kennedy, yeah.
Ramones,
Rancid.
Rancid.
Like, it's like that. Yeah. Like,
yeah,
Misfits. Yeah.
Misfits. I honestly probably the Ramones. I do like a lot of Ramones songs.
Oh yeah, that's true. They're pretty good. I think Rise Against is also classified as punk.
For sure, their early stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah, that is true.
Brian, by the
Then
way,
they kind of hit like that alternative phase.
Yeah, they
Oh,
do.
definitely.
you were correct. The Nazi is the actual political movement or a political party, and then neo-Nazi is them trying to revive that ideology.
So this is my take on it, though. Like in terms of like Shane's question of like what's scarier. I do think like they're more menacing, like these people, because they're like just like if you do anything to insult them, you're probably going to get killed. I think they're like the delineation of stepping over the legal line is just they're very confident they can do that.
Yes.
The Nazi Socialist Party, I think, I really don't know. It's hard to answer because, like, you probably had some people that were just like, they were more political, and then like the party itself of like we see like the atrocities they committed, but I don't know if that was like extremists, if that makes sense.
I
or
think
if it was the legit party.
What makes the Nazis scarier is the Nazis were a branch of government, so they could just murder and get away with it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like we're neo-Nazis, like
They're just a movement.
exactly that. Like if they get caught, they're going to jail. They actually go to jail in this movie because they have to frame that stabbing, and they're like, if you go to prison, we'll double the pay or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know history, so it's really hard for me to. But they're both scary in their own rights. The ideology is scary for like what Hitler was doing. Obviously,
It's crazy how like Nazi like it's sort of like mainstream now.
Oh, it's
It's like fucking everywhere.
It's just it's weird that it's still a movement that exists.
Yeah, I mean, like if you think about it, like that shit like died a while ago.
Yeah, like just give it up.
Yeah, like
Let's just move
that
on.
was like World War II time. Like that shit's been done.
Yeah, just fucking get a life. If we're being honest. Like that's the whole thing. Like even in here, they're terrible people, but like they don't look like they experienced joy once in their lives. They all look so
miserable,
angry and miserable.
I think it's because
maybe that's why they turned to the Nazi party. But
you lose your hair. You lose your hair. You get sad because they have to shave their heads off. They'd be skinheads. They're Nazi punk, Shane.
Fuck off.
Oh my god.
But like, I assume some were like born into it.
Oh yeah.
But like once you like grow and develop and get your own thought, maybe
leave. Well, I mean, they kind of do that with this, where like there are certain people leaving, which is what's caused like stabbings and murders to happen. So
There was like even some inside baseball with like the girl that was going to be in the trunk, like people fucking with each other within the Nazi group, which was like interesting. Yeah, but Green Room is not your typical A24 movie for sure. Like it didn't have that slow burn feel that I've come to know from the studio. But I would say like pretty solid flick.
Oh yeah,
not my first watch. I think you told me about it originally. I enjoyed the movie the first time. I kind of like it was more of like a repeat watch for me because I was just like remember everything, and I think it was actually my third watch on it.
It's a very easy movie to remember because like it's a very like
which is good because we're not currently watching it.
Correct.
It's like a very for me like it's very hardcore and they portray violence well. It's not a deep movie by any stretch.
No.
It's literally on the surface, but they portray violence very organically.
Yes, because it's realistic brutality, if that makes sense. Like it's like using dogs, using knives, like it just like the feeling of being trapped, knowing like if you open the door, you die. Like, how do you get out of a situation like that? It's a very scary, real
like a suffocating feeling.
Exactly. That's actually a really good way to put
It's
it.
tense. Patrick Wilson's in it.
Not Patrick Wilson.
Stewart.
Patrick Stewart.
My bad. Who's Patrick?
Patrick Wilson's
Wilson.
the guy from Hard Candy and Insidious and
Conjuring.
Watchmen.
He would have been good in this movie though.
Yeah.
Imagine him as a Nazi punk.
Fuck off, Shane. If you had to join one crew, what would you join? Nazi, KKK,
American History X.
Boy Scouts. You said one crew. They're a crew.
Bro, that shit's fucking gay, dude.
Yeah. What are you, gay?
What else was I going to join?
Anything but the Boy Scouts.
Book club? Maybe I take up a pottery class.
Why did I type in like we're supposed to be watching the Green Room movie instead of watching when cop raids go wrong?
I say you leave that on.
Insanity.
Shane, you know what group you can join?
Let me hear it.
The spooky bit.
That's a good transition, Matt.
He's saying let's
That's
move
a good
it along.
transition.
That's crazy.
He's like, we're not moving.
That's
we're not going anywhere.
Crazy
Matt
that
was
the
like-
producer just stole my job.
Yeah, Matt was like, yo, let's 2005 All American Rejects album this.
Let's move along. Okay. Well, without further ado, let's go into the spooky pit.
All
Were
right.
you mocking my producer?
All right. The Green Room, right? It's the Green Room, 2015, right? Playing at a neo-Nazi bar is a mistake sometimes because some chick's gonna die. Shitty punk band is stuck in the Green Room for the night, and you're breaking shit.
That actually wasn't me this time.
Film is directed by Jeremy Saulnier. It stars Anton Yelchin. May he rest in peace because he was a real up-and-comer.
Yeah, we got to talk about that guy.
Imogen Poots, Alea Shawkat, Patrick Stewart, Joe Cole, and Callum Turner. The name of their band, The Ain't Rights. The Ain't Rights.
Right. What's the better Imogen? Imogen Poots or Imogen Heap? Remember her?
I actually don't. Who is that?
She had that one song.
Oh, Imogen. It's the what you say.
That's her?
Yeah, it's Imogen Heap. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
What
Imogen
you
Heat or Imogen Heap? Like a heap of something or like heat?
Matt, research Imogen Heap.
Research what you say. Because
Right.
there was always that, like, that was back when, like, the internet was, like, fresh. So if someone fell down, they would just play that song.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
true.
very like 2016
What am I
Vine.
researching
Oh, it's Imogen
about?
Heap with a P. With a P.
I prefer Poots.
I love that song because you hear it and you know what you know what the first line's gonna be, but like, what the fuck is the second line?
What you say? Where the doomski patubeda? What you say?
I mean, the second line's pretty clear.
What is it?
You only
See?
No, it's you only meant well. Well, of course you did.
He does. They don't say that. He don't say that.
Is that what the second line is?
Yeah.
Interesting.
You're lying to me. It's body on top, but I don't know what you say.
Shane's like beetle ba.
Nuts punks.
Fuck out. What you say?
Yeah, Shane,
when you
tell
were a
us about this,
Nazi punk.
What's his name? The actor that
Oh yes. Okay. So Anton Yelchin, he was an up and comer.
Real up and
Was
comer.
just did Green Room. Just was doing the
like
Star Trek series.
Fucking Fright Night.
Fright Night. He was fucking awesome.
Charlie Bartlett.
He unfortunately passed away. He was in his driveway. He had his car set to what he believed was park. It was actually set in neutral, and it rolled down his driveway, crushing him, pinning him between the car and his security fence. Now, people will be like, oh, how do you make that mistake? That sounds fucking stupid. Well, the thing is, that car, his case actually started a recall of that car because it was found that that car had a faulty system where it would show that the car was in park even though it was in neutral. So after he was killed in this accident, all of those cars were recalled across the country.
what
I think it was like a Jeep something. I don't remember exactly what it was. But yeah, so that is the unfortunate death of him. So nothing.
So it was like a feature that caused it?
No. You like if you were to put your car in park and you know how it says P,
Yeah. It just didn't show for P.
it would show P, but it was actually in neutral. So like,
oh, yeah, okay.
so it would just show the wrong thing. So like you would think you put your car in park, but it was actually still in neutral. So if it's in neutral, it could roll.
Wow, that is so sad.
It was a Grand
Yeah.
Cherokee.
Grand Cherokee.
Cherokee. What a horrible way.
It's just so unfortunate because like you can't even say that's avoidable because like he did everything in his head right. Like he thought he put the car in park.
Is there I wonder if there was another one to show the like P, like another gear you shifted to.
That I don't know.
Probably-
that I don't know.
Well, that's like insane. But then how do you park your car?
Well, that's the thing. He just
It just like happened. It just
happened.
Oh,
It was like one of those things where it's like cars get recalled all the time.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
this was just a thing that eventually happens to those cars where you would think it's in park, but it's not. So that's why they got recalled
Yeah, so
across
it-
the
so it
country.
just
It's
happened.
crazy.
Cool.
And it pinned him against a fence.
Yeah, the fence around his house. Like it was like one of those typical LA houses where it's like a long driveway up to the house.
Yeah.
He must have been at the bottom. The car rolled down and crushed him.
Jesus, man.
You want to live in the hills, Beverly Hills?
I would never want to live. I wouldn't want to live out
So
there.
you're saying that's not where you want to be?
No.
Living in Beverly Hills, not.
That's not where
Not
I
it?
want to be. Chimichurri, living in Beverly Hills. Right? You got it.
Okay.
All right, let's fucking talk about this.
Let's talk about this movie. So the movie's gonna open up. Punk rock band. They're playing one of their hits. I Don't Belong or some shit. It's not good.
No, they play in a diner. That's a terrible set. So they have this guy with spike hair. I'm gonna call him Spike.
Yeah, he's in that new Netflix movie. It's What's Inside.
Yes. He's like, I got my cousin. His name is Daniel. He kind of goes to this like
Kind of a Nazi.
yeah, he's kind of a Nazi.
He got the red. She's a red jacket.
But if there's one thing you should know about the Nazis, they pay really well. Because me and Mike were talking about this. For this shitty band, $350 for the opener? That's pretty good, right?
That's not bad.
Not terrible. The thing is, you have to split that up, right? You have to split that.
No, but you got to think the diner, they only got
I think
$10.
No, their take from the diner, each of them was like $6 and change.
Yeah, so like $350 split 4 ways.
You mean the first gig that the
Yeah.
guy gave them that didn't
Yeah.
amount to anything? Because they did get the first gig before the Nazi bar that like really didn't amount to anything.
Yeah, it was $10, I think, or something like that. So like $350 for an opener, like they're killing it. They have to siphon gas to get there, which is crazy.
So they're gonna get this good gig, and it's a really good gig because it's at a neo-Nazi bar. He didn't establish that it was a neo-Nazi bar.
He
though,
said
right?
he didn't like. He's like the crowds. He kind of hinted that the crowd was like
a little bit of a rough crowd.
yeah, like
it'll make
they
some money.
were Nazis. Because I think the girl, I can't think of her name. The other girl that's in the movie, the one in the band,
The one from
Sam?
Sam, yeah.
Sam,
It's
Sam,
the girl
thank
from
you.
Arrested Development.
yeah. She's like, oh, it's kind of like she knows, so they.
How does she know?
Well, because the way he describes it, like I think she has an idea. I'm sure they played skinhead bars before. Like I said, like that's the only music
they-
like they listen to.
You think they go to like the skinhead circuit?
Yeah, I'm thinking they're hitting skinhead circuit. That's why when they get there, I think they want to fuck with them, which is kind of crazy. That's sick. So yeah, the whole thing is they get there and they're gonna do their set, and they're like, he's like, you want to, what's his even? Is the name of the song Nazi Punks?
It's Nazi Punks Fuck Off.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like, it was Pat's idea, who's Anton Yelchin's character, to play the song. He's like, play this song. I feel like that didn't, I feel with his character, who, like, does have to, like, become violent without, like, cause of the movie,
Yeah.
he's not inherently violent.
He's not.
Like, Rick Silva had to put on a show.
Yeah.
But Pat didn't put on a show.
Yeah.
Pat was cowering in the corner during the great paintball fight of 2014.
Is that how
But
you
Rick Silva was put on a
fucking
show.
Love that story of Rick Silva, the paintball god. He was taking on ex-Marines like it was no one's business.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But
Rick Silva. Let me tell you about Rick Silva. Rick Silva. He was the best ever. So let me ask you something, right? I don't want to jump ahead, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit.
jump ahead.
We do it often.
Your hand and wrist is cut off, and it's basically just dangling at this point.
Yeah, I got dangle wrist.
If you tape your... this was like the biggest thought I had of this movie. This is how like anti-deep this movie was, because this is my biggest prevailing thought. You tape your wrist and your whole arm. If you untape it, does the minimal flesh keeping your wrist attached to your whole arm come off?
It's coming off.
I think so too. I think it's coming off.
Yeah. I think he does a really...
That arm... Sorry to cut you off. Sorry.
No.
I think that hand should have been cut off.
Yes. I think they do a really good job, he does, of portraying someone who's been... Because throughout the movie, he's actually, from that moment on, extraordinarily sluggish.
Yeah.
Like, everything he does is, like, slow moving and slow talking, and, like, he doesn't react fast.
Except when he's like wrestling on the ground at one point, I think for the shotgun.
Yeah.
And he's fighting off that one dude pretty well,
To be fair, that's, I would say, the
Despite-
adrenaline kicking in. Like,
despite him not having use of an arm.
he does use it, though. Barely, but he does.
What I do like what this movie does, it does not force any type of like romantic irrelevant subplot.
No.
In matter of fact, it kind of like, I feel like jokes about that at the end of the movie when he tries to like do small talk at the end and she kind of shuts it
She's
down.
like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty clever because like in a movie like this, that's just like,
The last thing you're thinking about.
yeah, exactly. Like it's not even on the roadmap, and forcing it in would make no sense.
I also think a big strength of this movie is both sides don't do things that are too stupid. Like the band plays it very safe. They know, like I like that they never opened the door. They knew they would get killed if they opened the door, and I like that they didn't take the route that like, oh, we could trust these guys. Like, and I also like that the Nazi side, they always knew kind of like that the kids knew that they were like one step ahead, so they kind of were always trying to counter plan each other.
Well, Patrick Stewart, his whole fucking purpose in this movie is to plot and plan.
It's awesome. He's so good.
Yeah.
It's so weird seeing him in a role like this too.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it is good because they're strategizing how they can literally orchestrate it so no one would question their involvement in the 4 missing people.
Yes.
And how they were murdered.
But if I was like a member of that band, as soon as the guy tells me that the cops have, quote, come and gone, I would have been like, I'll never open this door for you.
Well, they don't. Except the one time for the gun.
Well, yeah, they like make a little deal. They open the door. Imogen Poots sees through like a vent.
Yeah.
That
the other people are there, and that's when Anton gets his arm all sliced
that
up.
show is fucking pretty gnarly.
Dude, they fucking carved to the bone. Oh.
Yeah.
I think they carved through the bone.
Yeah.
Like, that thing's dangling off.
Yeah.
By like maybe a vein or two.
Yeah, he had like the danglies. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. But I get why they opened the door at that point, because at some point you can't sit in the room forever. Right? Like, they've already established there's no windows, and they've already established, I think at that point, downstairs is just a heroin ring. Like, there's no, like, way out.
Yeah.
So, like, they are trapped there.
We've also, we got to backtrack before we're in the meat and bones of the movie we're talking about right now. We got to get there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, good. We should actually talk about how they get into the situation.
We can, but like the movie's pretty fast paced. Like
Yeah.
we did explain like they are going to play a song. They play a whole set, right?
Yeah, Nazi
But they
punks.
definitely start off with like Nazi punks fuck off, and that like definitely.
That takes some serious fucking balls, dude.
Yeah,
If
and
I'm in
like-
the band, I'm doing the fucking salute on stage. I don't care. Anything to please these fucking psychopaths.
Yeah, I mean, like, 'cause they start throwing shit.
Yeah.
I think they do after that song. They soothe it over, and I think it's okay. But that's not a great song to play. But in any case, where the tension gets heightened is like when they're ready to leave the venue, they do stumble upon into one of the, I guess, prep areas,
Yeah.
the green room area, and they do stumble upon a dead girl
Yes.
just laying dead.
And that's another thing where it's just that's another thing that's Pat's fault, right? Because he was supposed to go to a different room, but he walks into that room to grab his phone or something.
I think it's somebody else's
Charger.
phone.
It's a charger, I
something
think.
like that.
And
the
that
charger
charge
and the
phone.
phone, yeah.
Yeah, and he sees the dead girl, and then they all have to stay in the room, and then they're like, "Okay, we all just stay here. We'll sort it out." But Pat tries to call the police instantly,
Yeah.
and that was a big no-no. I think I wonder if he played it cool, if he could have got away with everything.
I don't think they would have let them leave.
Yeah, you're probably right.
They probably would have staged a killing regardless.
And I think they do mention that like it's probably because of all the heroin they have in the building.
Yes, that's why
But,
they didn't want the police.
You don't really
there.
know about that till later. You do find out that it's just like it looks like that's this murder. They saw it. It looks like that they committed the murder. Not a lot of context there, so they really can't have them leave.
Yeah,
now.
there's no way. Because like people like that, it's like either you're with them or you're against them. They can't possibly
Like,
trust.
they hand him like a razor. Like, you guys gonna like shave your head, or
Yeah, I mean, he does shave his head midway through the movie.
you guys gonna tat up, or
Yeah, bunch of Nazi punks. Yeah, so they're now just trapped in this room with the dead body. They actually have a Nazi hostage because they keep doing an arm bar to him,
yeah.
and they do eventually snap his arm.
Who was that, Justin?
Yeah, so when they do the gun trade off and they start attacking Anton, they fucking snap Justin's arm, and then he's gonna try to put him to sleep, but he keeps waking up. So Imogen Poots just grabs a box cutter. It's so brutal.
Yeah, this is insane.
Oh God! When she slices up his stomach and you just see it slowly open,
She's fucking hardcore.
she really is.
Yeah, because I think that character, so there's Reese and Tiger. I think that's Reese.
Yes.
He puts him in that like chokehold. He doesn't go to sleep immediately, but then kind of like they put him re-engaging chokehold to put him back to sleep. he's not dead yet, right? Like he's still alive. He's just unconscious, I'm assuming.
Yes.
And then she just pulls a box cutter and just
cuts
decides
his,
to.
yes.
And they don't really know Imogen Poots' character Amber at this point.
No.
She just was there that saw it.
It is funny how like so many times she asks to like do things or help, and they're like, "No, you Nazi." And then eventually they're like, "Okay, we actually need you," and they just let her do everything for them.
Do you think that's why she's violent? 'Cause she was a part of that crew?
100%.
Because she just displayed such violent tendencies throughout this movie. I would argue it helped them survive at the end, but
Yes.
she was very violent.
It's interesting because like they go through actually kind of like almost a philosophical thing with that, where they're like, I forgot who it was who asked her. They're like, "How'd you end up like with these guys?" And she's like, "It wasn't white people who hurt me." And I was like, it's an interesting way to like just kind of briefly show how like certain people end up there. Like, so like one incident happens and they like internalize that into like hate for everyone of like
you're just hanging out on a couch doing a podcast, and then like 10 years down the road, you're playing fucking skinhead songs at the bar.
yeah.
Hanging out with the Neos.
Yeah, sometimes it just ends up like that. It's
So
crazy.
you used to go through a ton of hate.
There's so much hatred.
You start hearing a band play Noxy Punks.
Fuck off.
So that might argue that do they just host shows there, or do they have like Nazi bands play?
No, I think they just host shows there. They probably have trouble getting bands to play there, which is why they're willing to offer so much money to get a band to play there. Like that's what I was thinking the whole time, because you just opened a 3 p.m. band, $350. Like,
Yeah.
Knowing how like bands kind of make money now, especially in like shitty situations like that, that's a lot of money. So
God, like I was thinking watching this movie, if I was in a band, would you be able to make it past like the early stages of having to fucking slum it?
no.
Yeah, I mean that's true slumming. Like
I also definitely couldn't have performed there.
I would not. Well,
No, I wasn't talking about
No, I know what you mean. Just being a
Performer.
poor ass band.
sleeping in a van with fucking 6 dudes.
Yeah, I couldn't do that either. But like, I don't think I have it in me to play in front of the Nazis.
you sleep in a band with 6 dudes and a liar shotcat.
Yeah, I would do that over playing at the Nazi convention because I don't know. That's just fucking scary. I just don't think I could do that. I would just be scared of like, I don't know, if I hit a note wrong, they might just murder me on the spot. They're very irrational people.
Yeah, they're very
Hot-headed, I guess would be
yeah,
the better
they're
word.
very
to use.
angry in this film. And at least that's how they're portrayed. I mean, like after Justin is like cut open, I mean, there's like a lot of back and forth and like whether they debate to go out or not.
Yeah.
Because Patrick Stewart, like I said, I do like how they show both sides, like you mentioned. They're like scared and they're like they don't trust that they've been adequately calling the cops and having conversations with them. They don't trust them. And then the other side, you see them how they're trying to strategize and plan to effectively get away with what just happened and what they're going to be doing with these 4 people. And Patrick Stewart does a really good job of trying to command that. But like once you get through that, the movie actually goes really fast through kills.
Yes.
Like pretty quickly. I mean, I don't know if you want to jump ahead to the point where like they actually do decide to like.
We might as well. We're there. We've talked about literally everything else.
We should talk about how the cops actually do show up at one point.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Because the cops show up and Patrick Stewart, they come up with the idea that they stage it that a guy stabbed another guy there,
Some like Scream 1 shit.
and that's why the cops were called because of that stabbing. So this way, he gets the cops off their scent right away. That's a good point to bring that up. It's actually very important.
I just felt it was relevant.
No, it was very relevant. So once that's settled, and they've been stuck in the room now for a while, and the other guy's dead, they're like, all right, we have to run. We have to just open the door. And they even say, I think it's the not the guy with the green hair, not Pat, the other one. Rick? No. Rick Silva's the paintball guy.
Yeah.
It's
not the guy with the green. So the green hair guy
it's
is
the guy
Tiger.
with the black shirt, I think.
Is that the guy that put him in the chokehold? That's Reese.
Reese is like, he literally says, we're not going to all make it, but hopefully someone does.
Yeah, they'll just like get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like they literally lose 2 of them almost immediately.
Yeah.
When they open the door,
If they don't have the dogs,
the dogs are fucking OP.
I think it's easier. The dogs make it impossible because you can't like the guy with green hair gets insta-murked by the dog. Like,
Yeah, I mean, he gets his throat
Ripped
basically
out.
chomped on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then Reese dives out of a window, but the Nazi punks are waiting for him
Yeah.
there, and they just start fucking stabbing him in the back.
Yeah. So what is that? That's lead vocalist and drummer down.
Yes. And Patrick Stewart, he sees him. He's like, don't finish him. Let him bleed out so the time of death is better for us, which is so dark. And
It's so dark, but like so like unempathetic and just crazy. Like it's just so like I feel like it's such a processed decision
yes. Like to have that mindset
with
to like
no emotion.
yes.
Also, that venue is 100% not just for concerts. When he shuts down and tells the crowd to go home,
That's right.
he does mention how in like 2 nights there's like just some sort of get together.
They're actually no, I'm not even fucking around. They're having a racial workshop on Tuesday.
It's fucking insane.
He's like, bring your textbooks. We'll
Yeah.
have our-
Yeah.
On Thursday, we're gonna have the Boy Scout luncheon, and then the tricky tray on Friday.
Yeah. I will also
What does
point
he say? There's like a. How does he get the crowd to leave? There's like a PA.
the PA system. They turn the power off and say the main generator is shut down. They're on the backup generator.
Right.
I want to point out another thing that I just thought about as we were talking about this, how hypocritical he is, and how I guess it's their way of showing how hypocritical the movement is. Because the whole idea, right, is that they're selling heroin downstairs. But he constantly, throughout the movie, emphasizes, you guys better not be doing that dope. He says throughout the movie.
It's like a pure, it's just for profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they don't want them on the product.
Yeah, but he emphasizes what kind, like he drops the N word multiple times. To
Oh,
like,
he's big on the N word in this
Yeah.
film. That's
And
He
just
says it.
casual.
He says
but
it a
like he
lot.
makes it like that.
He's
drug
cool
is
for
beneath,
cats.
beneath them, but yet they sell their own drug. Like it's very hypocritical.
I need a bleep out, but he does call it the N word dope.
That's why I said the N word dope. Like he says it multiple times.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't sell
No,
like the Hard H.
it doesn't. The Hard H just sells a little bit better.
Yeah, you better not be on the N word dope.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so like where I am in the point of the film was like Reese is stabbed repeatedly by the skinhead. Like all these kills are like pretty fucking brutal. Then the next thing I have is that they send Daniel into the building. Daniel's the friend they set it up with. It's the cousin of the kid that they were originally
Yes.
making the plans on. He does have the red jacket.
Yes. So we learned like there's higher ranking Nazi punks where like the red jacket is the most trusted ones. Daniel goes in.
And he's a red jacket who's trying to help him out.
Yes. Well, because Daniel now learns his girlfriend is the girl who was killed.
Yeah.
He tells the other guy to leave that he went in with. We find out Daniel and the girl were actually going to run away tonight. And
That's what he
leave
found-
the Nazi lifestyle.
That's when Patrick Stewart went into the
car.
the trunk. Like,
Yes.
he found that out. Yep.
Yes. So now this movie is such a ride because you think Daniel is going to be a character now that helps them. He gets shotgunned in the face 5 minutes after this reveal that he's going to help
Yeah,
them.
that scene was sick. Like I always thought that scene was sick because it's so happens unexpectedly.
It's so abrupt. It's crazy. They then like run outside, and that's when the girl from Arrested Development gets killed by the dog. She tries to shoot it with the shotgun, grazes it, and the dog kills her. Then Pat runs back inside, and now it's just Pat and Imogen Poots.
Yeah, that's it.
And they have a good moment here where they're sitting down, and that's when she's like, hey, can you just finish the story?
Tell me the Rick Silva story. I
Yeah.
need to know.
And it works, though, because it kind of gives them the idea of playing cat and mouse chess.
Oh,
The little hide and seek. A little get into the basement. You hide. I'll be up here. She's fucking Bird in the Worming, the used music videoing it, where she comes out of the couch. It's a whole thing.
he does come behind him out of the couch and then fucking like cuts that guy's throat.
Yes. And then, so this is probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie because they know they have 3 bullets left. And I love that she's counting down the shots. She's like, 2 shots left, 1 shot left. Every time he shoots, I like it. I think it's really clever.
She puts in work here, dude.
Yeah. She's a fucking badass.
Yeah. Like even in the scene where they go down the hole, like they have there's Pat down in the basement with the guy that's trying to kill him, and she'll like pull up the dead girl as like
Bait. So he shoots the leg.
Shoots the leg to waste the bullets. and just to give like Pat an opportunity, I think that's crazy.
Yeah. Is she the kind of girl you go Nazi for?
Oh,
That's a good question.
I mean, I'd do a lot of things for her if she asked me to, but that probably not.
Yeah, it's a little extreme.
It's a bit extreme.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that.
But she wouldn't ask that because she's ready to leave. them.
She wants to leave the lifestyle. She's over it.
and then
She's gonna be a Latin king after this one.
Jesus.
I think that guy shot. He's shot and killed.
Yes,
That
he
guy
is.
went
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah.
I think he's like popped in the head or something.
Yep. And this is when actually it should be noted, since they had 3 of the band bodies, they're like, okay, that's it. We'll stage that these are the dead people. We'll say the 4th one was missing. Clean up everything. We're leaving. You 2 kill them. So after they kill those 2, there's no one left. The only person left is the one guy who was talking to him most of the night, and he's just cleaning.
I think his name is Gabe.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was just cleaning. And they make a deal with Gabe. They're like, we won't kill you if you just go get the police.
Yeah.
And he does.
Yeah. He literally just doesn't want to die. He just like does their orders.
Yeah. I that's what I'm saying. It's like so different because like everyone's rational. Like even Gabe is like, you know what? We've lost. I'll just go get the fucking police so I stay alive.
Yeah.
Like it's all rational thought from everyone.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's A24 for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rational thought and Nazi? Is that usually a good pairing?
No, but like that's what I'm saying. Like he just there comes a point where you just don't want to die. So
Faced with your mortality.
Yeah.
You make different decisions.
Also, like, Patrick Stewart is so clearly, like, versed in cover-ups.
oh my god, it's great.
How many times prior do you think they've had to do
All
this?
of the times.
How many bands
He
do you
goes
think
back
they
to
slaughtered?
Edward Norton in American History X.
Yeah, I mean, like he definitely has like a game plan already marked. He even like when they like are out and they escape, like he just seems to know like you said, like we're gonna let this guy bleed out. We're going to he even so many times he just mentions like that the like don't have the dog kill this person, like have like shoot it with a gun. Like he gives like very specific instructions on how he knows it'll be discovered or investigated.
Fucking, he throws out time of death. Like, come on.
he's
dude.
it's great. He does such a good job.
He definitely elevates this movie, I feel.
Oh, without a doubt. Him and like the 3 main people, because I like the dynamic between Imogen Poots and Anton in this movie. I think they work really well off of each other.
But your favorite character is the Nazi punk himself, Darcy.
No, he ain't Darcy.
Your favorite character is Worm, the Nazi.
The
punk
Nazi who killed
the girl to start the whole thing.
That guy was scary. When he, like I said earlier, when he's just like, I killed your girl to that song.
He's like Fleischwolf, my favorite song.
Yeah.
It's like, what was the second to last song you played?
It's menacing when he talks. It's very well done. Bless you, Chowder. So this movie now, it ends with the last 2 survivors. They get to the scene of the crime they're staging. They see the dead bandmates. They see that they're siphoning the gas. They see that they're going to frame it that they were killed trespassing and siphoning gas. I love that she doesn't hesitate and instantly shoots the dog handler.
Yeah.
Without hesitation, she fucking blasts. And he's like, okay, that's how we're doing this. So then he puts the gun to the other guy's head. And then Patrick Stewart, he tries to talk to them about it.
It's so funny. This last scene is great.
And he just calmly talks to them. And then he calmly walks away.
The nonchalant walk away.
But he's doing it to like whip the pistol out. And I love how they don't hesitate.
Yeah.
And they just blast him. And that last shot to the head.
I think the first time like it's actually Pat. So she shoots the other guy like cold blooded, just kills him. Pat's actually the one that shoots Darcy a few times. I think she shoots him maybe once, but he's the one that shoots
He gets
him
the
in
headshot. Yeah. And
then he like tries to like turn it around and get a shot off, but he
misses. He shoots in between both of them.
Yep.
And they just sit there waiting. And that's when the last line where he's like, so you want to know my Lonely Island band I would take? And she's like, fucking no.
I want nothing to do with that conversation.
Yeah, she stays true to character.
Yeah.
She is a Nazi punk.
The scene where like the lights go out briefly in the green room, and like she lights it up with the
The cigarette.
I didn't really understand like what she was saying or what the point of that scene was.
So since the cigarette would be a source of light, right? So she puts the cigarette in the guy's mouth they have hostage. So they were saying if you see the cigarette
Like
move,
tracking.
shoot him.
Oh, yeah, that went over my head.
Yeah, the whole idea was because like it's dark, so he could easily try to overpower them. Since
I mean,
he's
he's
huge.
a fucking huge guy.
So she was just saying if you see the cigarette move, kill him.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah,
He must have been a pretty bad dude. Like she like went to kill him like
right away.
Yeah.
Well, he was a monster, like
was a hulking man.
He weighed more than the band. Like,
Oh, their
big
combined weight?
Yeah.
Honestly, maybe.
like,
Well, no, but
but it was close.
he's a fucking...
Those guys were so skinny.
Yeah.
Would the girl weigh 70 pounds? Like, but yeah, that's Green Room.
You really think a box cutter could just...
Yes, box cutters are one of the sharpest knives besides like scalpels, I believe.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't fuck with a box cutter.
No. Thank you. No.
That it went so clean up his stomach, though.
Bro,
Would you consider yourself like the Fleisch wolf of the group?
no. No. I'm like I like to consider myself the Wolfenstein. Like I'm just out there punching Nazis. I'm shooting Nazis. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, that's me.
Nazi zombies.
I love Nazi zombies. Call of Duty's lit. With that said, I'm giving this movie a 7 out of 10.
I'm hanging under every word. I want you to explain.
No, I'm gonna explain it. I actually consider giving this an 8.
But you're like ultimately it's a 7.
Yes.
You were like, Shane, should I go 8? No, I'll go 7.
Yeah, I did that. I do that
And
all
you
the time.
settled on 7,
Yeah.
despite thinking this movie could be an 8.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I always think of all my past ratings, right? Like you can't like,
Is there any chance that we could talk you to giving it an 8?
yeah. Give me your best pitch.
I mean, it's like very organic violence, very simple story, but it really just the conversations that are in the green room between the group for survival, as well as the strategizing from the Nazi side, that cat and mouse, I think sells itself.
You're right. 8.
There you go.
Good. I'm giving this movie a 7 out of 10
This is sick.
for all the reasons you just said.
Look, all right. I'm gonna. Can I stick with my 7?
Yes, you can.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a 7.
No.
I'm giving it a 7.
You said 8, we're sticking 8.
I'm giving it a 7.
Shane, why
Final.
is this movie an 8?
I'm giving it a 7 because it's a really good movie. It's not like the best movie I've ever seen, but in terms of like a movie where it literally is shot in a fucking green room, the acting is great. Bless you, Chowder. Oh, you have snot all over your face. You're licking it up though, so that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the acting's great between Stewart, the band, everyone. It makes you feel uncomfortable watching it. You feel claustrophobic, I think is the word you used earlier. I think that was great. 7 out of 10. To you, Mike.
Since you're a punk bitch who won't go 8, I'll go 8.
Okay.
You punk bitch.
You're like a Nazi punk, too.
Yeah, you're a Nazi punk bitch. Yeah, this movie's really, it's like smart and it's quick and it doesn't waste time and everybody's logical. And usually, movies, there's a bunch of, punk bitches.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't think there was like a single like drag down or weak point of it. Fucking great kills.
Yeah.
Despite 2 of them just being dog kills.
They're still great.
Fucking brutal. Yeah, this movie is not at all what I thought it was going to be. But yeah, let's kill some Nazis. I'm down. 8.
8. So 7, 8.
I like the scene where at the end of it, when they kill the dog handler and the dog, like later on comes right, like, and it avoids them because it's not giving an order and just goes to the owner
yeah,
and just
and
falls.
lays
This
next to him.
dog is like literally has 2 kills on his on his belt.
Right. So that dog, it's aggressive because it has a kill word or because the dog was dying? Or then like that it calmed down at the end.
But why calm down at the end? I think
Yeah.
it's because the dog was dying. Also, the dog
But
saw
what
its
if-
dead owner. I think dogs don't they naturally like just lay next to their dead owners. Like dogs have been known to like just lay next to their dead owners forever.
That's why it knew that it was dying, and I think it saw its owner dying.
So it went to die with the owner.
Yeah.
What if it heard its kill word? Would it have just sprung up and fucking?
No, because the owner's dead. The owner would have to give the order.
But what if on his dying breath, the dog
He
and the
said
owner
it.
was like, kill these Nazi punks?
Yeah, the owner just looks up. He's like, Rosebud.
I do think one thing that we didn't really mention was one of their smart tactics was using the feedback from the microphones to
How do we not bring that up?
to not make the dogs go away. I think that was a very smart.
They knew they couldn't
tactic.
send the dogs in with the feedback, which was a smart
and
tactic.
the fact that they had control of stage noise or whatever from the green room, that was huge because they couldn't get in. So that was very smart on their part.
I mean, my number is a 7 too, because that's what I had originally for this film. I do really like it. And I did struggle between the 7-8 conversation because I feel like it's right there. Like it is just a really good movie. It's very clean. It's not deep, but it's like just portrays violence well in the sense of it just felt so natural in the way that the story developed. And also, like, the strategy from, like, the Nazi side, I thought was, like, very interesting. To Mike's point where he's like, this has definitely happened before. Like, imagine just being a cop and coming here and being like, another covered-up murder.
How many times are these kids going to stab each other?
I guess
is
they're
crazy.
I mean, like, it's either one or two things. Like, I guess it's just another circumstantial case. Or, these guys are fucking, like, really good at fucking getting away with this. And it's frustrating. Like,
I don't know if you notice when the kid that gets stabbed lifts his shirt. He does have prior
stab wounds. It's crazy.
Cool. Yeah, no,
That's crazy.
I really do enjoy this film. I thought it was like just really fun to watch and solid all around. Like it really didn't have anything. I don't really have anything negative to say about
Me
it.
either.
Right. That's why I went 8 because there's really
Negative.
there's nothing to bring it down.
No, like I
But
said,
it's not so great that it's like
It's like a 9.
Yeah.
I agree with
Like
that.
it's not like there's not like a ton. Like the develop because it's a short movie. There's not like an overkill on development.
Yeah.
But that's not like the design of the film.
No, it's not.
It was meant to be short, quick, and punchy, and it
is.
It really just like worked. And yeah, like to your point, Shane, like I thought the main 3 actors were really just like super strong, and they don't give you they give you like just enough backstory to make it like work.
Yeah, agreed. Matt, real quick, rating.
For all the reason that you guys said, I was saying 7.
Okay.
7. Respectable.
I genuinely enjoyed. Usually A24 movies are pretty slow moving and developmental and everything. This one was fast paced, and I do think that played a part. Or I think that was due to the fact that they were trying to do the whole punk rock thing and all that. And the kills were good, and like you guys said, there's really nothing that I have bad to say about it. It kept my interest all the way through.
What I would say is the film did not have a single point of passion.
No.
Were you ever like? Did you ever want to whip out your dick and jerk off throughout any point in this film?
No.
No, see, now usually I'm looking for stuff like that,
And
right?
usually you pop it out.
I just want to get off.
Yeah, of course.
But at this point in the movie, that's why I like this movie. It was like, I'm not looking for titties and butt cheeks.
Like I can't jerk
Not
off
looking
to
for
a
sparkle
swastika.
titties?
Yeah, I'm not jerking off to a fucking some bald-headed freak.
Some bull-headed guy that likes to siphon gas.
That being said, Imogen Poots is quite sexy, especially when she's taking control like that.
You like when she gives orders.
Yeah, and when she's like slaughtering people, I'm like, I'm down.
You know what's funny? Like in the heat of everything, and there's like so much like chaos and there's so much fear. A fucking Anton Yelchin's character Pat is just like, let's talk about paintball.
I think it was the blood loss.
And everyone was like, fucking stop talking. I'm trying to get out of the situation. He's like, you remember that time we played paintball?
He gets to finish his story,
Rick Silva.
and that's important in life, Shane. Finishing the story,
It is. It's what you gotta do. You always have to.
and
finish
we
the
gotta
story.
finish this story with the Necronomicon.
Yes.
Did you like that? Did you like that, Matt? That transition I did.
did like that
really liked it as well.
Thank you.
Thought it was very well
It was
done.
like, I've
you.
seen better. I've done better. I'm gonna go with the box cutter kill.
Yeah, man. It
That
felt,
box cutter kill is snarly.
it was as clean as someone like zipping open a bag.
Yeah.
Like it was such a clean kill and came out of nowhere, and it really set the tone for her character. I feel like a lot can be taken from that first kill, where this girl's backstory is, who she becomes. She's very like prone to fucking get shit done.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay,
But then
so
there's also the Daniel kill, which I thought was very surprising.
Yes, shot into the face.
yeah, that was quite shocking.
I am gonna agree with the kill. With the
So there's
box cutter.
definitely no shortage. I was thinking one of the dog kills, especially the first one, was so pretty brutal. But then I was thinking Patrick Wilson's kill, because the man Patrick Wilson's kill. That's the second time I've done that.
Stewart.
Yeah, but like the man wouldn't go down, right?
No.
He was still guns blazing,
He was until he got hit in the
and then he
head.
gets clean headshot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with him just to be a contrarian.
Okay. Well, with that said, Josh? I think your name was
Justin.
Josh? Justin. Big J.
See, we all
Big
mess up names here.
Justin. You were a goddamn Nazi. You were a bad guy. You could have helped the situation. You had a phone in your pocket the whole time. You broke that phone. Could have helped them. Could have just called the police. Everyone could have got out of this. No one had to die. Instead, everyone died pretty much. And this is on you, Justin. This is on you, Big J. J Bone. J Money. I don't like you because you're a Nazi. Actually, I can't believe we just put Nazi in the Necronomicon. It's kind of sick. Kind of sick.
Oh, I'm sure there's tons of horrendous people in there.
No, our Necronomicon's filled with the best. Like the radio from The Thing.
The cleanest folks are in there.
Yeah. So, with that said, this was Green Room. Great movie. Great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie. I really enjoyed Patrick Wilson in it.
Patrick Wilson Shine. If you haven't seen him in, it's definitely, like I said, if you haven't seen him in like Hard Candy or The Conjuring or the
Or
Insidious
that one
movies.
one movie where he bangs Kate Winslet.
Oh, The Watchmen.
Oh, Little Children.
What are you talking about over there?
Patrick Wilson bangs Kate Winslet and Little Children.
Is it Little Children or Little Women? Am I getting that name wrong? Is it Little Children?
Yeah, it's Little Children with Jackie Earle Haley.
Is there a movie called Little Women?
They're
And they're like dwarf women?
Little Woman, isn't that the Prairie movie where they're out on the prairie?
No.
Can I get a Little Women look up?
Little women or little children?
Little Children.
Little
It's
Women.
Patrick
Matt.
Wilson, Kate Winslet, Jackie Earle Haley.
Matt, do not search up Little Children.
He is correct. That is a movie with Kate
But
Winslet.
I
and
just
Patrick
want you to
Wilson.
let me know what Little Women is.
It's the movie where they're out on the range.
Is that where the deers and the antelope play?
Yes, no, I'm like not even kidding. It's like a Western movie, Little Woman.
Did we get like an antelope shadow?
2019.
2019.
Was that
gotta be
Timothy
a remake.
Chalamet and Florence Pugh?
T-Shell?
Hamilton
T-Shell's in that?
Watson,
he got fucking robbed of an
Meryl
Oscar.
Streep.
Yeah, it's a Western movie, right?
You know they're gonna rob the real
It
dude.
appears to
Yeah.
be. Yeah, it looks like similar to like.
Aren't you guys sick and tired of the real dude just being fucking
I'm so
robbed?
tired of the
Austin
meal.
Yeah,
Butler?
Patrick Wilson in Little Children rails Kate Winslet on a washing machine.
I really wish that name wasn't the title of that movie was different.
Well, no, because Jackie Earle Haley in the movie is a child predator.
Oh.
Like he's a pedophile in the movie. That's like one of the focal points of that movie.
But the other focal point is some steamy hot romance between
Yeah, it's one of those like conglomerate movies where it's like multiple stories. Jennifer Connelly's also in it.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah, it's a really good movie. Highly recommend it.
Jennifer Connelly, underrated hottie.
Oh yeah, she's definitely a hottie.
Underrated.
Yeah, but anyway, that's it. With that said, we are the final podcast signing off.
I'm tired of the real man getting
Oh yeah,
robbed.
I didn't even say. I just realized. I
So
gotta say,
sick of it.
next week, we're doing fucking Leprechaun 4, baby.
That is next week.
We're going to space.
Wow.
I can't
Strap
believe we
on
got
your
here.
bad CGI.
Yep. So we pushed back St. Patty's. We usually do this on that week, but we did Green Room instead this year.
Yeah, well, it's green. That's what we do.
So, but I mean, like we couldn't go a year without doing a Leprechaun film.
Yeah, and we couldn't go a year without having Benanti on the podcast.
Yeah,
so he will be on next week.
We will literally be having a hot dog, fucking German
Bratwurst.
dog on the pod.
We should have on this one. Nazi.
Oh,
Kidding.
What an
Kidding.
accusation! That
I was trying to book
kidding.
Scott for it, but Scott was unavailable.
Well, of course he was.
Yeah.
What, he didn't want to leave his house.
Yeah, he was being a Nazi punk.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always unavailable. So with that said, we are the final podcast signing off, and we'll see you next week in space.
Yep. We'll be in space, and in space you could do a cool thing, and it's called subscribing to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Or, listening and following us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your shit. We are the podcast that's going to give you
Shit.
fucking great banner. That's what we do best. So tune in every week, every Monday, and next week we're going to be fucking killing it
In space.
in fucking space, outer space with Warwick Davis.
Not spunks.
Fuck off.
4th time we're doing this shit.